All right, so let's back it up. And then we get his third of his main points. And then he has a little interlude, and then he goes into some more. But there's a third.
In their war, and that did happen. Now bear with me, okay? Because it also said that we would have iron come from space, and now we know that meteors have iron, and they come to space, and they hit the Earth. It explained...
Why are you laughing, AP?
How many times do we have to debunk this nonsense? This absolute nonsense. Absolute, complete, ridiculous nonsense. The Quran doesn't say that that iron comes from outer space.
I got the passages right here, baby. What? Good.
It doesn't say any of that. What it says is that Allah sent down iron. That's what it says. Mm-hmm. Does that mean that the Quran predicted the knowledge that iron would come from outer space? No. It didn't.
No. And let's go ahead and look at this, ladies and gentlemen. AP, I have a bunch of passages on this because people need to get the point. But let's burn through these real quick. It won't take long. But here's the verse, ladies and gentlemen. It's Surah 57, verse 25. And don't look at the beginning. Do not, whatever you do, look at the beginning. In fact, I should have marked all of this off, because all they read is, if you see in the middle, the second line, towards the end of the second line.
Indeed.
It says, and we sent down iron. They say, down iron. We sent down iron. Oh my goodness, Allah sent down iron. What's that mean? It means that iron forms in stars and then eventually gets sent out. How could they have known this? How could they have known this? What happens when you actually start at the beginning? Indeed, we sent our messengers with clear signs, and we sent down with them the book and the balance, so that men might uphold justice. What does sent down mean? According to the argument, when he says sent down iron, it means sent down from outer space. And how could Muhammad have known that iron comes from outer space?
We know that the prophets and the books were also sent down on meteorites to the earth. So
yeah. So keep in mind, if that's what you think sent down means, in the very same verse, it's talking about other things Allah sent down, and it's his messengers. So Allah's messengers, ladies and gentlemen, come from outer space, and they're sent from outer space with the book and the balance. And he sends down iron. So he sends down iron and messengers and the book and the balance, all from outer space, if that's what it means to be sent down, right? Now, just want to address the first little point there, right? Suppose that when the Quran said that Allah sent down iron, it actually meant sent down from outer space. And you said, how could anyone have known this? How could anyone have known that iron comes from outer space? Guess what? Everyone knew that. Do you know why? Because before people knew how to get iron out of the ground, smelting it, so on, the early source of iron was meteorites.
Yep.
People found out meteorites hit Earth, and they take it and they go, wow, this is really strong metal. And they would make things out of them, make weapons and stuff like that, jewelry out of the meteorites. And that was their source of iron. Later, they figure out how to get iron just out of the ground. But back then, the early source of iron was from space, and they knew it. They'd see a meteorite fall to the ground. They go over there. Oh, this is really good metal. And matter of fact, do not take my word for this.
This is the thing, David. Well, you got to put this into perspective. So when these Muslim apologists and these converts sit here and do this whole thing and talk about, the Quran says iron comes from upstairs. Who could have known this? We just found this out. They're making it look like the fact that we talk about meteorites, that this is something very, very new. The fact that we know that there is an outer space where things come from is very new. There are certain aspects of this that might be rather new, which is that we now understand better the whole, outer space and what meteors actually are and so on. But it wasn't a secret to anybody. It wasn't a secret to people thousands of years ago that occasionally things fall down from the sky and come down onto the earth and seem to be very hot and seem to be kind of strange. And so the people knock on those things and figure out that they serve a purpose and that they use the resources of those and so on. They extract iron from these things that fall from the sky very, very early on, thousands of years ago. And at that point, they already have interpretations and they think, I think the gods up there, they're sending us things down to make us rich. So this whole idea that that a deity or that deities send down things for people from the skies is not a revolutionary idea in the Quran. It's actually copied from texts that existed long before the Quran and from people that existed long before the Quran.
And it was general knowledge that that's their source. That's their early source of iron. And hey guys, I've got Inspiring Philosophy texting me now.
Oh, me too. Yeah. No,
yeah, he's texting. Hey, check this out. Check this out. He says, "I'm pretty sure Sumerian and Babylonian texts refer to metal from heaven in religious context. They were associated with the god Enlil. It was either Ugaritic or Hittite text that referred to black iron from the sky." Well, thank you, because I could have never found any of that out without you, Inspiring Philosophy. Oh, unless I already had it ready right here on the screen. Trying to tell the Dizzle something. In
your face, IP.
Trying to tell the Dizzle something. Check this out. Everyone see this? I got it underlined. To the ancient Egyptians, iron was known as metal of heaven. It was known as metal from heaven. The ancient cultures, they all called it something like metal from the sky or metal from heaven or something like that. Why? Because it came from meteorites. But here, to the ancient Egyptians, iron was known as the metal of heaven, says the University College London. In the hieroglyphic language of the ancient Egyptians, it was pronounced ba and pet, meaning either stone or metal of heaven. For thousands of years, before they learned to smelt iron ore, Egyptians were crafting beads and trinkets from it, harvesting the metal from fallen meteorites. So, what's the claim? That if the Quran says that iron was sent down from heaven, how could he have known this? They all thought that back then, because that's where they got iron from. Durr. But so that's one problem. If the Quran got this right, he would just be saying something that everyone else already thought. Problem is, it's not what the Quran is saying at all. The Quran isn't even saying that iron came from space. When the Quran says that Allah sent down, yeah, you could be thinking space, but in terms of that's where Allah is, and it's just God providing things. God providing things from you. That's what it basically means. You don't believe me? Let's check out the various uses of Allah sending things down. Ready? 222. Who has made the earth your couch and the heavens your canopy and sent down rain from the heavens? So rain doesn't just come from the sky and so on. It's actually coming from outer space, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what sent down means, according to our Muslim friends. 257, and we caused the white cloud to overshadow you and sent down on you the manna and the quails. Sent down what? Manna and quails. From where? Well, it says sent down, so it's got to be from outer space. So manna and quails come from outer space, ladies and gentlemen. 39:6, he created you all from a single person, then created of like nature his mate, and he sent down for you 8 head of cattle in pairs. Where do cows come from? Where do cows come from, ladies and gentlemen? According to our Muslim friends, outer space. Space cows. Someone should make a movie called Space Cows about how this happened. It will be a blockbuster. 7:26, O children of Adam, we have indeed sent down to you clothing to cover your shame. Where does clothing come from? Do we make it? No. Clothing comes from outer space. Ladies and gentlemen, we know it because that's what sent down in the Quran means. 544. We sent down the Torah. The Torah comes from outer space. Space Jews. With their Torah. This is why they're so powerful. Their book came from outer space. You see?
That's why they have the space lasers.
That's why they have the space lasers. That's why we can't defeat them. The book came from outer space. A surah which we have sent down. So a chapter of the Quran came from outer space. It came from outer space. Then Allah sent down his tranquility from outer space. And he sent down hosts from outer space. 64:8. Therefore believe in God and his messenger and in the light which we have sent down. The light, hey, now, at least you could say light comes down. Say, have you considered the provision God has sent down? So Allah sent his provision from outer space. Guys, are you noticing something? It's basically everything that Allah blesses people with or gives them or something like this. He says he sent it down. What do Muslim dawah clowns do? They look for one that is actually referring, that would actually work with something coming down from outer space. It's a miracle. How could anyone have known this? And one, even if it were correct, even if that's what Allah, even if that's what Allah in the Quran meant, that he sends it from outer space, everyone knew that already. That's why they called iron metal from heaven. Everyone knew that. So it wouldn't be a scientific miracle. It just mean Muhammad thought what other people thought. So that's one. And the other part is that that's not what the Quran means. In the exact same verse, he talks about sending down his messengers and sending them down with the book. So that would mean they all came in spaceships, right?
Yeah.
So guys, think about this. The way he presents it, I guarantee, is exactly the way it's presented to him. Do you know the Quran says that iron came down, and how could he have known this? It wasn't until people didn't know about how iron is formed in stars and then eventually works its way here. They couldn't have known this. This guy's just, what? Bro, it's amazing. Never crosses his mind to go look this up. To go look up to even read the actual verse. All you need to do is read the verse to see that something is up. Wait a minute, the Quran says other things are sent down. Maybe I need to go through the Quran and see how the Quran uses this language of sending things down. Let alone looking it up and saying, oh no, people in the ancient world knew that iron comes down from heaven. How does he present it? It's impossible that anyone could have known this apart from supernatural divine revelation. And it's not. Any random person in the ancient world could have told you, would have told you iron comes down from heaven. What is this? And again, that's not even what the Quran is talking about. But he presents it as proof because that's how it was presented to him. Guys, dawah is deception. This guy is the target. They're looking for people like him, gullible people who would never in a million years bother to actually look something up. People who are just going to hear what the dawah guy says, believe it unquestioningly, and never research anything. And then he goes back out on TikTok or Instagram or whatever and posts it. I've got the proof. No one can refute this. And then has like this excessive confidence that he also picked up from the dawah guys. You can't refute me. You can't beat me. You can't. And what's the goal? Here's the goal. You tell it. You fill this guy's head with complete lies, like complete nonsense. Guys, we've been through his first three. What did he get right? He got zero right. These are absolutely pathetic. These are standard dawah arguments. They're extremely easy to refute. I mean, guys, it takes seconds to refute these arguments, right? But they'll bombard this guy with these arguments because he's gullible. He believes them. He doesn't look anything up. And then they want him out there doing what? Making videos, spouting all this stuff to other people. So you have all these other people, because guess what? There's a bunch of other people who are just like him, and they're listening to him. Wow, really? He sounds really confident. He must know what he's talking about. And then what happens? You get Eddie from the Dean Show, amplifying it to thousands and thousands of people. And the goal in Islam is, again, I call this Islam's 99-1 rule. I need to remake this video because I made it years ago. I need to remake this video because it goes back. This has always been Islam's rule. When Muhammad was in Mecca going around saying, hey guys, did you know that I'm in the books of the Jews and the Christians? They all know about me. They all know I'm a prophet. None of the pagans around Muhammad know anything about the Bible. They don't know what's in there. So they don't know. Which means he's speaking in an atmosphere of complete ignorance about what's in the Bible and just saying, I'm in there, and people are believing him. He sounds really confident. What happens? Eventually, Muhammad's around Christians and Jews, and they're ready to laugh him out of the Arabian Peninsula for claiming that stuff. And what's he conclude? Oh, you see, they're lying. They're lying about what's in their books. They're lying to cover up the truth. They're lying to cover up the truth. But the 99-1 rule, the principle is, if you have an audience of 100 people and you just make something up and you sound confident and tell them something, let's say 99 out of 100 people are just going to believe it without looking it up. If you get 99 people just mindlessly believing what you say, and one person actually looks it up and says, hey, wait a minute, guess what? Then 99 can silence the one, even if they just form a mob and beat him to death. Or he's scared of speaking out against the 99. That's always been Islam's rule. That's always been Islam's rule. Tell people something, make it up. If they're going to believe you, then if a bunch of them believe you, they can silence the one who actually looks things up. That's what dawah has been. And it's always been the principle. When they came out with the scientific miracles and stuff in the 70s and they started running around, the Quran is filled with scientific miracles. How could he have known about iron coming down from heaven? No one knows anything about the Quran. No one knows it. No one back then knew what I just showed you in a few seconds on the screen about what the Quran actually says. People didn't know that stuff. So all these people are believing it and believing in Islam because of the scientific miracles. And then those same people go around spreading it. Did you know it's a miracle? This dawah is just lying to get people to convert to Islam. Right now, however, we're the first generation that can easily expose this stuff. And so guess what? We need to, because again, if someone in the 90s fell for this, that's one thing. It's harder to look things up back then. If someone now falls for this stuff, you're just extremely lazy and gullible. But we still need to help people like that as well. We still need to help people like even this guy, as sad and pathetic as this argument is.